Vanessa started crying, and it was like, who cares? Who cares that you're crying? I'm glad your daughter is calling your trashy hoe self out. Hello, fellow Beyond the Gates fans. It is Thursday, March 12th, and we finally had a very dramatic confrontation on this show for the first time in a while. So that was nice to see. It all did have to do with the McBride family today. We, of course, just had to start the episode with Trash herself, who was speaking at the opening of the free clinic, although this was technically after the opening of the free clinic, the after party kind of. I don't think we're ever going to see that clinic set. I think we're going to still have to be hearing about this free clinic and not actually seeing it. But we'll see if that changes and they do get a different set for the free clinic in the future. But Trash was talking today about how this whole opening is dedicated to her husband, Doug McBride. And afterwards, Kial and Nicole really liked her speech. Leslie was making faces, of course, when she was giving this speech. Deanna had been trying to be cool with the whole situation and heard that the dedication was Joey's suggestion. That would continue to play out as the episode went along. Vanessa had Nicole take pictures of her and Deanna and Donnell together while Deanna was holding a picture of Doug. At least someone in this family actually does give a shit about Doug. That seems to be Deanna. Joey was there, but was staying away from Vanessa at the beginning of the episode. He was sitting with Leslie and Eva at one point, and Joey was hoping that this, now that the free clinic is opening, that meant he and Leslie would be spending less time together. But Leslie was doing her usual flirting. Kial later congratulated Leslie, and Leslie, of course, had to do some flirting with him too, calling him Dr. Feelgood and all. She tried to recruit him to volunteer for the free clinic, but he doesn't know if he will have time right now. But then Nicole broke that up, of course. I'm sure Nicole does not want one of her men that she is dating to get wooed by Leslie, much like her situation with Ted. Eva, meanwhile, was thanking Joey for being the other donor in the clinic. Joey was surprised that Eva has so many people skills compared to her mother. Eva said that's because she's always had to clean up her mother's messes. I actually did enjoy the Eva and Leslie stuff today for the first time in a long while. I think it was realistic to their toxic mother-daughter relationship, but the softer side of that mother and daughter relationship, and why Eva is the way she is with Leslie, because she does always have to clean up Leslie's messes. But she was also able to be proud of Leslie today for the speech she ended up making, and for just going out there and showing the people that Leslie does understand their issues and why they need a free clinic because of Leslie's poor background. It does make sense there. Nicole wanted to have a one-on-one with Joey. They started talking about the double date that Vanessa wants them to go on and how neither of them want to go on that double date, but they agreed to it for Vanessa's sake. Joey told Nicole that Vanessa matters a lot to him, which I guess helped Nicole feel slightly better about that situation. But Nicole did have a warning for him, and he told her that her sister Danny had a similar warning for him. And they also talked about how Joey was giving Vanessa space today because it is Deanna's first time back in town since Doug died. We also had Eva introduced to Deanna and Donnell from Vanessa. And all I hope from this is that Eva and Deanna become friends. Eva has needed a friend on this damn show since Jump. And even though Deanna is slightly younger than her, it shouldn't be too much. She's in college. Eva, I've always seen her as like early to mid 20s. So they're close enough in age to become friends. And with their mothers always feuding, I think it could be fun. So I hope they really do make them friends, mostly because Eva really needs a friend. And frankly, after today's episode, Deanna needs one too, because everybody is going to start treating Deanna the way that they treat Kat, which is like she's in the wrong, even though she's usually not in the wrong. So that's, I guess, what we can expect from this writing. I don't know why this show likes to do that to actually interesting characters. Joey said his goodbyes to Donnell and Vanessa and Deanna on the way out. Vanessa decided to walk him out, and Deanna was watching them the whole time and saw them embracing and kiss outside of the place, which of course Deanna did not like to see. And later Donnell could tell that Deanna was not okay. He kept asking if everything was okay, and she confronted him if he is okay with everything going on here. So at one point, Vanessa and Leslie were starting to bicker, and Eva played the in-between to get them to get along. And she did actually get Vanessa and Leslie to get along for a second and compliment each other. But that's when Deanna interrupted and went off on her mother. She told old Trash Vanessa that, well, basically asked Trash how long Vanessa had been screwing Joey Armstrong. And Deanna was doing this in public, making a big scene. Vanessa wanted to talk in private, but Deanna said that this doesn't seem like news to everyone in public. It's just news to her. And I loved Deanna going off on Vanessa today. It is long overdue that someone goes off on that Trash. But what is typical of this show as of late, with the good came some bad. And Donnell was acting like a total pussy today, and it was irritating me throughout the second half of this episode. Donnell was trying to get Deanna to stop, trying to stick up for both Vanessa and Joey like he actually understands the situation, which we'll try and get back to if I remember. Deanna said that Vanessa must be serving it up because what kind of man drops all that money unless you are? Deanna said that Vanessa can't go 6 months without a man because she is pathetic and selfish. She asked where Vanessa was when Doug was going through all of his troubles, and she hit all the points I've wanted someone to call Vanessa out on for way too long now. This had been long overdue, and it's why I see the character of Vanessa as such unlikable trash. You know, I was talking with someone in the comments yesterday about how even if Vanessa is somehow playing the long game, the long con to take Joey down, I don't even want that to happen. I am rooting for Vanessa's downfall more than I am rooting for Joey's because they have written her as so damn unlikable. Deanna also asked Vanessa how long since Doug's death before she started screwing Joey, the man whose casino killed Doug. This is when Donnell was sticking up for that again. Like, oh, Doug decided to go drink at the casino, and it's Doug's fault. I don't know. Donnell was very irritating today. Vanessa started crying, and it was like, who cares? Who cares that you're crying? I'm glad your daughter is calling your trashy hoe self out. So yes, Deanna continued to make a scene saying she won't come back as long as Vanessa is with that man. She ran off. Donnell decided to go after her. And later, Donnell and Deanna talked at Orphe Jean's. Donnell just became increasingly more irritating. Donnell definitely takes after his parents because he is not smart and he is not likable. I feel like as well as they built Deanna up today, they definitely ruined the Donnell character for me. Samantha could do better. I don't want to see that young pairing anymore. Deanna confronted Donnell about how long he knew that Vanessa was messing with a criminal, and he didn't tell her. Donnell kept saying, it's not what you think, it's not what you think. But then Donnell never really explained in any logical way how it's not what Deanna thinks. In fact, Donnell's entire diatribe today was very unrealistic. Donnell was saying he's hurting too, which fair. And then he was saying everyone's treating Deanna like she's made of glass. But then I just don't think Donnell's feelings about the situation and how he felt similar at first when he confronted Vanessa and Joey is realistic. He's talking about, oh, he spent some time with Joey and realizes that their mother was still grieving. And I don't buy it. I don't think any son would be acting the way Donnell is in this situation, that his mother is now dating a criminal like Joey. No son is just going to sit there and say, it's not what you think, Deanna. Don't buy that for a second. Trash, meanwhile, later went and visited Joey to tell him that he was right, and then she whined about how her daughter hates her, as she should, you dumb hoe. Meanwhile, Donnell just continued to have an unrealistic reaction with Deanna, trying to make her see his way of thinking with the Vanessa and Joey relationship, but I think this episode was a very bad episode for Donnell. He looked bad in this episode. I did not see any twin connection between the two of them. It's typical, though, of this show to write the man in the situation as the pussy, and that's exactly how they wrote Donnell today. Vanessa, meanwhile, was telling Joey that Deanna said something she can't get out of her mind when Deanna asked her if she even knew Joey, and she realizes she doesn't know where Joey is from, and she doesn't know his family, and she wouldn't be able to answer that question. She says she barely knows anything because he doesn't tell her enough about his past, and she needs to know who Joey really is. And it kind of just feels like rinse and repeat between these two. So I'm not really interested to see the reaction to this. And it's going to be overkill if Trash is in tomorrow's episode, because I am so over Trashy Vanessa this week. She's been on every single day so far. But at least today she did get lit up. And as I said before with Deanna's reaction, I'm glad Deanna lit her mother up for now. But if she doesn't stay consistent, and if she does go the way of Donnell and just gets over it, it's going to make the storyline as just more terrible than it already is. Because there's already no real payoff for the initial Vanessa and Joey affair, because Vanessa is now more unlikable than Joey. So, make it make sense writing. I don't really think it does. Before Vanessa did go visit Joey at the casino, she was whining to Kial and Nicole about how Deanna finally came home and now she won't want to come home again. And Kial tried to comfort her by talking about his children's lives when their mother died, his wife died. And later, Nicole and Kial went home to talk about that. And Kial said he wishes he had someone like Nicole to talk to back in the day when all that hard stuff was happening in his life. And that Nicole is being a good friend to Trashy Vanessa right now. And back when his wife died, he was trying to do that tough He-Man act that men tend to do when it comes to burying their emotions. This led to them making out and probably doing more. So that was the meat of today's episode. It was at least a more exciting, more dramatic episode than usual. The only other thing on today was Kat breaking the news to Chelsea and Tomas that she was moving in with Vernon and Anita. And it seemed to lead to some bickering between Tomas and Kat. I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. I don't care. I was literally not able to pay attention to their scenes today. That is how little I care about the Kat and Tomas relationship at this point. I tried. It was quite literally impossible for me to pay attention to the Kat and Tomas argument today. But by the end, Tomas just seems to want to be more of a part of Kat's important decisions. But they're boring and they're a bad couple. And I don't think anyone has ever cared about this Kat and Tomas pairing. I've only seen one time in the comments somebody say they care about this pairing. Haven't seen it since. But at least we had a more entertaining episode today. Don't know what tomorrow looks like. Hopefully it's not a filler Friday. I could use a day without Trashy Vanessa, though. I liked the stuff with her and Deanna today, thanks to Deanna. But everyone else in that McBride family, not good TV for me right now. Vanessa and Donnell were pretty nauseating today.